Cool. All my kings, queens, princes, and princesses, you are now officially dropping jewels with Julien Virgin. Happy Tuesday. Much love to everybody. Man, it's been a wonderful week, and it's been a wonderful week because it's been challenging. And sometimes those challenges bring the best out of you. Last time we spoke was on Tuesday. We had my man Deanye on for dropping jewels with Julien Virgin. That was the third live episode that we're doing. So make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out as we're continuing to build. And I think the most important part of what I'm doing right now is just staying consistent. You know, I used to be consistent with everything. And when you're doing something weekly, you have to stay consistent no matter what it looks like. And so this week, on this week's show, we've upgraded. We got the camera set up in the crib. Me and my pops, we went to Best Buy, got some stuff, figured it out. And, you know, look, we're just working. And just like I said on episode 1, everything has a genesis. So we're just building on top of that. But going into the last week, last time we spoke was on Tuesday. We had my man Deanye on. We talked about fatherhood. We talked about gratitude too, because it was Thanksgiving week. And I would say the week was challenging because I dealt with a situation when it came to my daughter and how we were going to handle her. When I say we, her mother and I were going to handle her for Thanksgiving. I was disappointed because she wasn't able to spend time with my side of the family for Thanksgiving. And that really had my mind all types of jacked up. Like, this was like one of the rare times where I was really disappointed, and it was hard for me to shake that energy and get back to Julien. So on today's show of episode of Dropping Jewels with Julien Virgin, I have a great friend of mine, my really great friend of mine. Honestly, one of the first people I ever knew to have a child, like, young, you know. And not even when I say young, I mean like as we were growing up, like having a friend that like had somebody like, oh, they were having a kid, and then we had a friendship. And so I'm gonna have her on today so we could talk about, you know, just being a parent, and especially from a woman's point of view. That's one thing I really wanted to pick at. And really just check in with Shanese too, because I haven't checked in with her in a while, and talk about what she's doing, her role as an assistant tour manager for her. I hope I'm saying that right too. We'll get into all the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty. But that's why I'm gonna have her on, because of what's been going on with me throughout the week. Everything worked out as it always does in all situations. But sometimes when things don't work out for you immediately, you know, your mind kind of goes to 1,000 different places. But, you know, when you take a deep breath, hit a quick reset, and, you know, look at things from another perspective, it allows you to understand different sides. And I think that's really why I wanted Shanese to come on today of this episode of Dropping Jewels. I want to talk about, that happened. Cool. Another really dope part of this past week is that my little brother's been in town the whole week. And my little brother, he's 15 now. He lives in Chino Hills, California. We rarely get like opportunities to like really like kick it. And now that him and I are both evolving and getting older, he has an opportunity to come to my crib, kick it, and like we can kick it on a different level. And having him around this past week has really just uplifted my spirits. So it's like knowing like I got like the little homie here, and he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, but like we're locked in. Today we went paintballing. And when I tell you he was lighting my ass up, like little buddy, all that Call of Duty he plays is like really it's been paying off. He knew what he was doing, man. He shot me in the back of the head, got hit in the knee. We played, and, you know, he had a really good time. And I'm really happy that I had an opportunity to show him that experience, especially the day before he goes home. He'll be going home tomorrow. But shouts out to my little homie Noah. And shout out to just all the time I spent with my family, my mom, my nephew Mason, my sister Desiree, Pamela, all my aunties, all my uncles, man. I think that's really what family's about. And so that's another thing that we're going to be speaking about today is family. And boom, what does family mean to you? And so that's what we got coming on. So coming up after the break, we will have my girl Shanese Nixon. And right before we go to break, I do want to tell you about my song of the week. Right? Got to talk about my song of the week. My song of the week is Catching Feelings by The Bull and Holly Broom. It's like some new school funk, and it's just like every morning I wake up, I play it. I was singing it to my daughter this morning, and it's super dope. So I definitely recommend you check that out. And don't go nowhere, because coming up next, we got my girl Shanese Nixon coming up here and only here on Dropping Jewels.
Julien Virgin.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to welcome my great friend Shanese Nixon to the program. Shanese, you smiling all extra hard. What's popping?
It's been crazy. Like, I'm glad you hit me up about doing this. Not gonna lie, tell me not to be nervous. I'm a little nervous. Out of all the years we've known each other, this is the first time I've ever. I don't know. You've asked me a couple questions in the past, but it's different. It's been a while since we talked last.
For sure. And the reason I've been like, yo, don't be nervous, is because I just started this format of Dropping Jewels, like doing it virtually, like doing it live per se. Like a lot of times what I'm doing, back when you and I were kicking it a lot, when I was like working with the Wave, everything was like edited. And I mean, like doing the live show wasn't edited, but there's something about just doing something consistently and weekly that I don't know, it just adds a little extra pressure. And so I just decided, like, I'm just gonna start doing it. I don't care what it looked like. I just gotta make sure every Tuesday I hop on here and I get right. So that's why I'm like, don't have no pressure. Like, we just gonna do this. What comes of it comes of it. And so I appreciate you for taking your time to join me today. What were you doing before? I know we pushed back the broadcast to, what is it, 10:44 now? Like, we were originally supposed to do it at 8:00. What did life look like?
Life looked hectic. I have to leave at around 5 to catch a 7 a.m. flight to DC for the Christmas tree lighting that's going on. And between my daughter, like washing hair, getting clothes washed from tour that I still haven't gotten washed, like between preparing and all that, it just got crazy. So, she went to sleep way past her bedtime, but yeah.
All right, so as I was prepping today, I was, trying to figure out how to exactly address you. Like, what are you doing now? Why are you in DC? Like, what is your line of work look like? How am I to address Shanese Nixon?
As far as professionally right now, I work on her team. I am her assistant as well as the tour managing assistant. So everything from scheduling, travel for the crew, the band, between venues, between the hotels, tour, but also everything that incorporates her and what she needs and her keeping her in the right frame of mind to perform our day-to-day life. It's it's so different. It's a completely different world than what I'm used to or what, you're used to, just jumping around rehearsals. Um, but that's what I'm doing now. Still same me, still interested in creative direction, set design, all these different things. But I'm learning so much. And that's the best thing as far as like prayers being answered and moving forward and being able to be in the room and see somebody that you didn't even know you'd be excited to like call a friend or have around, So I think, the more people, genuine people you're getting to know, it's it's the best thing about what I'm able to do now.
All right, so there's a lot that we have to break down. First and foremost, her singer-songwriter, artist, Grammy. She's won a Grammy, right?
She has so many. That's another thing that I have to do is I'm getting a bunch of stuff done to hold all her awards that she has at this point. So she has Soul Train Awards, she has Grammys, she has an Oscar. Right now she's up for 8 Grammys this year. So
that's dope.
Yeah, and that was just announced the other day.
It was. So do you call her or do you call her Gabby? Gabriella. Like, what's up? Y'all on a first name basis?
First name basis for sure, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
It didn't dawn on me that she was 24 until like a week ago, and I was like, oh snap, like that's has to be a lot for her to be at the level that she is at so young. And so like I'm sure she deals with everyday 24-year-old emotions and situations.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I think people have also got to ask themselves, like, what if you were living your dream? You know, and that's what I look at. Like, you don't get tired if you're doing everything that you ever wanted to do. If you're every day a piece of your dream that's happening, you don't get tired. You don't like, you know, there's little things like, you know, maybe college, maybe, you know, these different routes, and I don't know, maybe getting blackout drunk. I don't know, those little pegs in like that, you know, you may miss out on, but you're living your dream. You know, what else would you want to trade for that? And being able to, I know family's important, you know, you're able to flex all those muscles and you've been training for that since you were young, you know. So
Shanese, I remember there was a time where we would sit there and talk about the next step, like how you were working towards an opportunity like this.
yeah.
You talk about living your dreams. I'm not necessarily calling this. I don't know if this was a part of your dreams, but I know you were always searching for that next step. How does it feel to be in the position that you are in right now, and then looking back at where you were and where you come from?
Um Damn. You have those moments. Like I remember during tour, like out of nowhere, one of the guys, the drummer Camden, was like, "Yeah, we're about to go to the J. Cole concert." And I'm just like, you said J. Cole? Like I went upstairs, like changed and was there, and it was one of those moments like when I was 19, I was at a very lost state, and J. Cole just helped me through everything. And then like 10 years later, I'm like front and center at his concerts, and those songs that I used to listen to in my room, like I'm there, and it's a whole fucking arena. And that was one of those moments that like, all right, cool, I'm on the right track. Like this is, I'm not, you feel it, and you get emotional, and all you want to do is cry. And I had to, like, for a second, just like, this feels amazing, like something to come full circle for me, and me to realize like, all right, I'm cutting a different corner now. You know, I'm always going to be that same person. I stress about that now. Like there's still more I want to do. I have those issues where, have I really grown? Am I really living this dream? Is this me? You know, and I think that's something that people with a dream, or they know what their passion is very difficult, it seems like, not even to attain, but you stay looking at the future. And the J. Cole thing was one of those times, rare times, honestly, where I just looked around. I was like, celebrate. Like, look where you're at today. Look where you're at right now. You prayed about this. And that's what I've started trying to do, is just be more, have just so much more gratitude, because I prayed for a moment like that. I prayed to be able to take care of my daughter while doing something that's going to pull me forward. And yeah, I still question, like, am I moving forward? Like, I don't see it. Been in quarantine for almost 2 years, like, not really able to be mobile, even though you're, you know, trying to perfect this new lifestyle and these new roles that you never even thought you'd have to take. But that's, you know, same shit as parenthood and that vortex. But I feel I feel blessed. I feel little things. There's little rewards that you got to celebrate that remind you, like, yeah, I'm on the right track. Like, I'm not in a race with anybody. Somebody can have something when they're 24. Some people can have it when they're 19. Morgan Freeman, 50. You know, all this stuff kind of starting his career. So that's stuff you got to remember, where it's just like, it's all gonna come, and you gotta find comfort in that, because the journey is hard, and it'll stretch you, it'll tear you apart. Um, but just remain grateful and stop and look around and be like, I remember praying for this. Here I am. You know. So.
For sure. Again, dropping jewels with Julien Virgin, featuring great friend of mine, Shanese Nixon. Appreciate you again for joining me today. You just said something that struck a chord. You know, you get caught up in these situations where you feel as if you're not making any forward mobility. And I feel like I've been in this little this space. And my sister said something to me the other day. She says, when you lack vision, you're kind of walking around aimlessly. And I don't know, just it seems like ever since, and this is not blaming my daughter at all, but like ever since I've come into fatherhood, it seems like it has basically mixed up everything else to where I'm trying to align, like, okay, like figure out, I'm figuring out what's going on. I want to know about your journey in before Moon, your daughter, and before Moon, when she first came, and like how you kind of like figured out, got comfortable with parenting in order to get to where you are today.
Okay, that's a question. This is something that I gotta be real about. Like, it's painful. Like, you hear that when you have a child, sometimes tell you, oh, like, immediately I fell in love with my child, or immediately this or that. And, going into it just scared. Me as a goal oriented person, where it's like, all I give a shit about is my future and my dreams and all this other stuff. I moved to New York for an opportunity, got pregnant. And it's just like, I knew I wanted to have her, but at the same time, it's like, what am I giving up? Like, I am a woman, and it can be different, where it's like, now I got a kid, this could fall all on me. Think of all the risks and all the stigmas that you have in your own head. And that's the biggest thing, is fighting that stigma that you have, where you're going to be another story that people tell. Yeah, she fell off, or then she never ended up living her dream. But she has become, very early on, kind of like a beacon, not only to myself but to my entire family. And that's the blessing. Like, I don't mind having to come home to her. She's the best thing. I don't mind missing out on little events or anything. If anything, it pushes me forward, thinking about, like, oh, I want to live here. Oh no, I want to take her to a museum this weekend. It's like being able to fund all those little things that you want to be able to experience with her. I want to be able to buy a ticket to Korea to take her to see a different part of the world, or that she can have those experiences. So everything that those stigmas told me that I would be losing gave me more momentum to risk it all and look fucking stupid, or do shit even when I was absolutely terrified, or do things that I thought were beneath me or made me look bad. It's like, no, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do the best possible job, and I'm gonna push through towards what I want because my baby is gonna see her mother as the woman that accomplished her dreams. You know, that it is possible, that it doesn't just happen to the people who are born in it or didn't have to work or didn't have to sacrifice or lose everything. Like, you can lose everything and still be propelled forward. You know, it's a part of the journey, and she was a part of my journey. I prayed for her. I didn't know it, but I prayed for her. And it coming to that conclusion and that realization that nah, she's what I wanted, and realize how lost I was before her. And even as a parent, I'm lost now. You know, there's still more that I want, but hot and cold of pre-moon and post-moon, you know, two different me's. I don't want to be who I used to be. I wasn't nice. I was a cruel person. Um, and there was a lot on my back. Now I have to peel away at those layers and look at myself more and change and be more patient and hold a lot of labels, but it makes you better.
How old is Moon now?
By she's 3.
She's 3. She's 3. Okay. It is 2021 going on 2022. I feel like I think we spent the bulk of our time together around like 2016, 2017. I think that's when I graduated state. When did you graduate state?
December 2015.
The Georgia State University. Okay, 2015. So it's been about 6 years, and I remember like a lot of our conversations were based around like where we trying to go, what we trying to do. Now, in those first couple of like months and maybe like year phase of Moon's life, where were you at, and like how long did it take you to kind of get that comfortability with like being her parent, and then like kind of getting on your own feet doing what you do?
I had nothing. I like literally had Moon in New York and came and moved back in with my parents. Like, I had absolutely nothing. Had like a month or two of that, moved in with my sister and my brothers, had just bought got a house and, moved in with them. Then just bounced around. We didn't really have a place. And then as soon as I got this job, my first check went into buying this place that I'm in now. It was just literally, and that was almost a year after I had her. So it was
So
a lot of.
you flew in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you flew in from DC, or are you in DC currently?
No, I'm in Atlanta. I fly in to DC in a few hours.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you basically, so you getting this opportunity was like a step to like really secure you and Moon.
Right. So and that's what I mean. It was more than me, and it brings out a different side of you where you're I was hungry before, but you're hungrier, and you're like, no, you give me this chance, you bet on me, and I won't ever, I won't fuck up. I don't fuck up. Shit I don't understand, I will understand by the end of the day, and I'll be there to make your life easier, your job easier. You're gonna recognize when I'm not there. Like, I'm going to work just that hard. And literally, my first check, flew into Atlanta, didn't even have anywhere to go here, just flew into Atlanta, looked at this place, signed the lease, moved in. My parents came and helped, and that was a very proud moment for me after a year of just kind of just bouncing around because there was nothing else. And then for that feeling of not having any independence, that, oh Lord, that's something that you even have to recover from. But that moment, changed everything. It was a motivator for sure.
For sure. Again, I'm joined here by Shanese Nixon, here and only here on Dropping Jewels with Julien Virgin. Shanese, you talked about how you moved back in with your family. I think that kind of goes into the question that I wanted to get into, is like, what does your family mean to you? When I say your family, not only just like your mom, dad, your sister, I mean like your daughter, your significant other, like what does that mean to you?
Um, Everything. I don't have anything else. I don't think about anything else. I came from a military family. I came from a sports family. It's all about the unit. It is all about advancing the unit. So me moving from Augusta to Atlanta, that was for my dreams, but it's for the unit. It was like, all right, we can have these new experiences up here. Any job that I got, um anywhere I go, my family goes. Any experience that I have, my family experiences it. And that's what I work so hard for. It's the infrastructure of who I am and why I am the way I am, and the way Moon is the way she is now. She's like, even music, like the way she understands music, the way that she, you know, understands my mom in different languages and can just bounce in between all these different areas and retain that type of knowledge. That means everything. It's all about pushing forward together. And I love that. I love that that's the way that my entire family even thinks. We'll sacrifice everything. My mom sacrificed everything to move to Korea so we could have those experiences. My sister stayed in the military, in the army, to be in Japan so we could also have those experiences. And we branch out and you take advantage of each other, and in the best way possible. But
So we can move
that's
forward as a unit. I like that.
yeah.
Now, with that said, do you have that family unit amongst your immediate family, like you, Moon, and your significant other?
Yes. He Listen, it's one of those situations, like I couldn't have chosen a better, father for my daughter. And that I can't preach enough, whether we're together or not, and we actually work together. And to be honest, sometimes we're on the road and we're not speaking, but when it comes down to Moon, there's no attitude, there's nothing crazy. We just, oh, what does she need? Okay, well, let's coordinate. Okay, she can be with my dad for this week since we're both out of town. Then she can go with your mom. We'll like everything when it comes down to her, when it comes down to family, as far as my significant other and Moon. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what's going on between him and I. Um, she comes first, and then we do, and we care about each other. And a relationship is a relationship. Learning how to parent, not having a lot of other parenting friends, um, and trying to navigate how to better communicate in a world that shit. They say it's important, but a lot of people don't
Yeah,
do it. Don't really try to sit down and talk to each other, talk past trauma, or pull back and show that boundary and be able to say it, and that other person understand how to speak to their loved one and how to make a cohesive family just for the future. Again, whether you're going to be together or not, like people have to learn how to just have a good conversation, and not throw daggers at each other, or your child to see you guys in a less than desirable, situation, or screaming at each other, because
for sure.
children, they know. But I'm very blessed in that aspect, that he's a great father to Moon, above and beyond. um but we still, no matter what, together or not, we're going to go to couples therapy. We're going to figure out, like, nah, whether we're together or not, our relationship has to be sound, even as parents. We're not going to hate each other. That's the last thing that we're going to be. We're going to be or do, or be one of those couples that are cruel to one another, or just can't speak. That affects everything. But um, I'm happy.
How are you able to navigate that? Like personal emotions when it comes to just being somebody's parent, like dealing with your other Gesundheit.
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm good.
It really is that time of year where like you got that one sneeze that make you sneeze like 4 times right in your nose for
Right,
sure.
right,
I'm there with
right.
it. I'm there with it. I'm there with it. But again, my question to you is, how are you able to separate your personal emotions with your significant other when it comes to the interactions with your daughter?
Um, how is it is how is a difficult question. Just because at this point it kind of comes naturally, but it's taken time to develop in that way. Like
Sure.
we can we can have a big argument and stop talking and still talk the next day. Not be talking, but talk the next day about Moon, and then not be like we're talking. I'm trying to hold on. Let me try to figure out how to say it.
I'm
I'm
following
trying
you.
to think. Yeah, I'm trying to think about in the beginning how it used to be difficult. It used to be heartbreaking. You're watching this person that you love and just got into an argument with, walk out the door with your child, both of your child, and you want to go with them or you want to hug, both of them and kiss them both goodbye because of the situation you're in. You can't. So navigating it is just about those boundaries and what's at the time, what's best. Like, what can you continue to deal with? What can you no longer deal with? What boundary are you trying to establish? And then after that, um, making it clear. You know, it's difficult. Though those little moments where you want to be a family and you want to be together, but you can't, are the moments like a birthday where you have to be together, but you can't celebrate the way that you really, really want to celebrate with that
Yeah,
person, and your child, and you all hugging each other, playing and planning it with more love. And that's a sacrifice that personally I feel like with growth, if you both want to grow, two parents want to grow, that it'll happen naturally. And there's a deeper love that grows when that respect can be had. There's no way that it's overlooked. It can be overlooked by one parent or the other that, oh, they're still treating me with respect. Oh, they're still speaking to me nicely. Oh, they're still considering me. They're still sending me pictures when I'm away at work or I can't be with her. He's still sending me pictures of her, having a good time. And it makes you feel that little things that just show respect and compassion to the other parent. Um,
no matter how mad you are at each other.
no matter how mad, it's that bridge. It's that bridge that always
Yeah,
is gonna keep you guys together. And whether you hate this person or not, keep that level of respect, because no matter what, y'all are gonna need each other.
for
And
sure. It's crazy. Like when you look at your child, you always see your significant other too in that. Like it's like your child is a complete 50-50 split.
oh
There's nothing
God,
you can do about it. It's like there's nothing I can do.
no, especially, and that's the worst thing, especially when you're mad at that person. Every time I look at her, I see her father, and I'm just like,
Dude,
and you just have to give her a hug or a kiss, and those little things sometimes it gets you through. It's like, I have you. I don't need kisses from him. I don't need any of that other stuff from him. I have you, and I'm grateful just to have you. And if certain things come back around, they come back around. But that bridge and keeping that parental bridge solid, no matter how much it hurts at first, but giving a little bit by little bit compassion while retaining that respect. That's all it is. That's all people want in the first place. That's all you want in a relationship. Is that understanding, is that compassion. And if you have to back up and start there again, and back up and start there. I had to tell him the other day, like, no matter what, you're going to be in my life forever. Like, there's no choice anymore. You're going to be in my life. Like, why would I treat the next 18 plus years with the person that I have to be with? Why would I treat them with disrespect? Or why would I try to poison something that you're a good father, you know, you're going to be with me forever, no matter, again, separate or not. Treat that person with respect. This person is going to bring people around your children, and you want to be able to talk to them about that. You want to be able to still love them in a sense, you know, and care about them and ask, yo, how's your sister doing? Like, is everything okay with your mom? You know, little things like that that you want to know the information for. You want to feel safe. And that type of security is important and should be prized more than people show. You see shit like the baby, you see Summer Walker, and you just see all this other stuff that, hey, that might be your past, that might be your history, but are you guys trying to move towards just respect and building just now the only way I can visualize it is just a beautiful like bridge where you're always going to have this, and that relationship should mean just as much to you as the child, to be honest.
Again, my girl Shanese Nixon is now officially dropping jewels with Julien Virgin. We're talking about all different types of subjects, parenthood at the moment. Now, you're dropping a lot of jewels with me right now. Now, who were you able to kind of get some of the game from, or did you learn strictly from experience?
Yeah, experience for sure. Experience for sure. You know, it's hard, you know, you don't want to constantly, you know, have people in your business. So that's something, but also like started going to therapy, journaling, starting to really take care of myself. And then with my partner, trying to start encouraging, and then to an extent, like making that an ultimatum where, you know, we both need this help in order to communicate better, you know, and just trying to spread the fact that there's things that you need to take care of. You know, you can go to therapy, start journaling, start, you know, suggesting it to the other parent. But I've had to learn by myself, like certain things I couldn't tell my mom because you don't want them to know like the bad stuff that goes on, or you know, a family, like they'll take sides and stick to that side. Like, nah, this is
a whole another level of issue. You don't want none of
and then trying to come back out of that, it's like, it's crazy. So just learning along the way and knowing what's best for you, and that's a big thing. You know, you have to come first. It's not your child, it's not your significant other, it's you. How the fuck do you feel? Is this hurting you? What do you think can help? How long have you had issues with depression or anxiety? Why is it getting worse? Are you able to communicate that to the person that you're in this with? You know, that these lessons everybody is going to be able to help you with, and you start seeing your parents as people and not like these all-knowing, you know, beings. I used to think my parents just knew what the fuck to do. Like, oh, we need money, we need a house, we need a car, we need a, you know, wherever we're going, they just knew. And as a child, and as a child, you just trust it. You don't think about it. You trust it, and that's not how it is, and that's completely okay. But you live and you learn. I just know from my parents, obviously, you know, they've been together for 30 plus years. Ideally, I want to be like them, but I learned that there's a way you speak to each other. There's things that my mom used to be like, Travis, get up, we're about to go talk in the room. I need to talk to you. Can you meet me in the room? Like a serious face, and the whole house would be like, daddy's in trouble, like, you know. But I don't know how they figured that out, because they definitely didn't come from households like that. But they figured it out, and they did it like that my whole life. It was like, they may argue, but it's gonna be in the room. They ain't finna do this at the table, you know,
Yeah.
in the middle of the living room, you know,
Yeah.
out in the front. It's not finna happen like that. And I've respected that. And more so because my parents saw in their lives what they didn't like and brought it forth in raising us. So
Indeed.
I know now, like, there's certain situations that I find myself in where it's like, this isn't fucking normal. Like, are you kidding? This isn't normal. Like, I know this isn't something that, you know, so let's take this back and let me lay this boundary where it's just like, listen, we're not, we got a child now. We're not kids anymore or anything like that. We're not just dating, whatever. And, you know, not only that, we're getting older. Like, let's go in the room and talk. If you can stop for a second to just be like, I think this might be a little back and forth. Let's go in the room. That says a lot. The fact that you can step back
That
and
growth.
hold on. Let's go in the room and talk. That small thing, being able to stop and recognize where you're at, that you and the communication is off. Let's move into a different area so we can talk about it. And, you know, you don't realize how much your child sees. And I think that was one of the biggest things, is just being able to remove yourself, remove yourself, and talk through things.
Now, I kind of feel like this right here is like a full circle type situation, in the sense that you said Moon is 3 now. It's 20. It's going on 2022. What, 2018 she came?
Mm-hmm.
So she was born in 2018. I don't know how many other friends that you had that had experienced parenthood at the time. Um, but I'm sure now that you have a 3-year-old, you're starting to see a lot of like other friends start to transition into being parents. Are they coming to you with questions the same way I'm coming to you? And do you kind of feel like this is a full circle? You kind of feel like, you know, the more mature person on the block?
Um, Definitely not. I wouldn't say the more mature, because every situation is fucking so different. And I wouldn't want to put any type of judgment on people, but I have people coming to me, and it feels full circle, but I like to help. I'm one of those people where it's like, if through my experiences I can talk to you and show you anything different, or share my experiences, then that's what I'm here for. You know, I don't want to be all knowing or almighty or anything like that. It's just, bro, at the end of the day, you got to love yourself, you love your child, and you love your significant other. And those three things, in that order, you know, I can't be a good mother if I'm not a good me. Like, and if I'm fucking going crazy, having all these different issues, and I don't do the right thing and get myself help, if I don't do the right thing and take a fucking break or a nap, or not hold myself to these crazy ass standards that for some reason when I was young I believed, and I'm carrying into adulthood, that don't make any fucking sense or don't apply to me anymore. You know, it it's just important to at the end of the day just remember those things, that you come first, your child definitely comes second, then it's always like that other parent, let them do what they do. If they're a good parent, let them be a fucking good parent. If there ain't shit, draw that line, and keep your happiness and your baby's happiness close and safe.
For sure. I think it's I think it's dope, and I could see why you were so excited when you found out I had a daughter on the way. I feel that
Mhm.
same level of excitement when I find out that like my homies are having kids. Just
Yeah.
found out a friend of mine's having a daughter, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm over here like, bruh, like yo, you need to like, yo, woo, woo, woo. But
Yeah.
because it's like now that initial shit phase is like we've graduated from that, and you've started to see like how beautiful being a parent is and how beautiful your child is. You could like really
Yeah.
see the beauty in it, and like you could see how like it does change you in a very positive way. It stretches you. It stretches you to like, and it forces you to grow in a lot of different ways. And uh it changes your friendships, it changes your relationships, it changes how you manage your time, it changes everything. But a lot of times like those changes are for the better. So when I see people that are now starting to experience parenthood, I'm like super duper excited for them. And I could see why you shared that type of feeling with me, and I wanted to have you on today just so we can talk about that, and so I can say thank you for like just you going through that experience and being able to like talk to me about it today, and like to see you right now where you are after the entire process, like to see where your journey is taking you is super dope for me to like to witness it, Shanice.
Thank you. It's been a road, and I'm proud of you. I remember when you called me. Oh my God, and me just being excited because I knew it was something that you just like duck in water. Like literally, it was something that you were made for. It wasn't anything that I had even had any doubts, and I was just like, you are a person that I knew would also appreciate a journey like that, and to love. I knew you were gonna have a daughter,
10
but that, yeah, it was like your demeanor, like you can tell with people, and a daughter is everything. I love girls, but you to even telling me that it was gonna be a girl and everything, it's just a beautiful process, and I'm so happy that you are enjoying it and you're letting yourself be, like I said before, ripped apart, put back together, all of these different things. Um, because it gives you the ability to just appreciate. You'll go through rough shit through the day, but you know, how are they happy? Like I can't even be mad right now. I can't even be frustrated. Like they're happy. Like it don't even take much.
The teddy,
And
it could take a teddy bear. You got some food. She'd be like, eat. Oh man, it's like it's you know. Yeah, it's super dope, and it really has like stripped me down in a lot of different ways. And I would say us just even like being on this show right now is kind of like when I had Sarai, it's like you kind of tore down the whole field, and I've had to like replant seeds. And now this is just kind of like the evolution of what's growing from it.
right,
And Lord knows where it's gonna go, but I'm excited for the journey. I've been growing my hair out. I got these braids. I got a little hang time
yeah,
right now, but it's all because of Sarai. Like I started growing it when I found out she was coming, and so now like my hair signifies her in a sense, like her growth. Like the older she gets, the longer my hair gets, and I could see it kind of going on for as long as possible. But yeah, I always say parenthood is the best hood. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm
I like
happy that
that.
we were. Yeah, nah, for sure, and I'm happy that we were able to hop on today to talk about it. But before we part ways, I want your final thoughts. Something that's on your heart. It doesn't even necessarily have to be in regards to parenthood. Something that's been on your heart the last couple of days, weeks, months, that you wanted to share.
Hmm. I came off tour and I was like just thrown into this crazy depression that I'm still going through right now that I'm starting to feel better about. And I guess, long story short, yesterday I meditated, and yesterday I wrote, and there's little key things that help me feel better when I feel myself going down this rabbit hole. And I think I just would like to say, you know what's going to make you feel better. Sometimes you know, and because of depression, you won't just get up and do the small thing, listen to like a 6-minute guided meditation, or write in your journal, or get up and go lay outside or ride your bike. Do something that you know you love to do, but do that. It's not that far away. That journal isn't that far away. The meditation app is on your phone, like instead of scrolling Instagram or Twitter, whatever you do, you know, do it. Certain things, they don't solve themselves. Your mental health matters. But you know deep down who you are, and you know what makes you feel better and what can pull you out. Don't be afraid to take that extra 10 minutes. That'll transform your mind and at least get you through that one day. And then you do it again, and then that next day, and then that next day. You may not do it for the next 5 days, but you know, I think that's important. That's something that I know I have to remind myself, because it's just something I don't think people talk enough about. But you know, take that time, take those 10 minutes, and do what you know your heart wants and needs in your mind. But
2 weeks ago on the show, to follow up what you said, I had a conversation with a friend, and he was like, I was like, yo, I see him working out all the time online. I'm like, yo, like, I think the only thing that I'm missing is an accountability partner, right? And so he's like, bruh, do me a favor. Next time you're in the bathroom, give me a call. I was like, and so I never called him, right? And so he hit me back up. He was like, yo, the reason I was telling you to call me when you was in the bathroom, because I was going to tell you to go look in the mirror. And that person right there is going to hold you the most accountable, because that person knows you the most. That person knows how you feel the most. That person knows what makes you happy the most. That person knows your goals, your aspirations, what you want to do. And you have to answer that person every day. And so if you could just, you're going to lose that battle sometimes. Yeah. But if you can get as many W's off, you can get a win here, a win there, take that. You know what I mean? Take that, and it's going to make you a better person. And so that's how I felt when you just told me that. It's like, look, you know, at the end of the day, what's going to tap you in to make you right. So just do that. Yeah. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all of my kings, queens, princes, and princesses, I appreciate you for dropping jewels with Julien Virgin. Shanese, great looking you in the face right now. Although it's virtual, I'm just happy to see you. Love to see your smile again. Thank you for sharing to me what you're doing, why you're doing it, what your family means to you. A lot of the things that you learn while raising a child, and the importance of doing what you love to do in order to get you out of that mindset. Like these last 53 minutes has definitely made me feel better about this Tuesday evening. I look forward to continuing our dialogue, and I look forward to everybody continuing this dialogue. Make sure you go to julienvirgin.com for all things wavy. Again, dropping jewels with Julien Virgin is where real people have real conversations about real issues that we all face each and every day, and me taking the jewel from the conversation and giving it back to the people in an interesting yet a captivating way. Again, thank you so much, Shanese, for being a part of today's show, and I look forward to y'all tuning in to the next one.
Julien Virgin.